dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Will Puckett. We're just a few seconds shy of 5 o'clock.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Monday morning. An interesting weekend. We kind of saw a little bit of everything. Some rain, some snow yesterday, some sunshine by the end of the day. So we had a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely a lot going on, and it was just an absolutely dreary Saturday. You didn't want to get out and do anything, but you know, I'm a snow lover, but we didn't see much of that either. And so it's really just frigid temperatures this morning, which leads to our severe weather alert day that we are still in this morning. And Brandon, what are we looking at as the day goes on beyond frigid temps?
A very slow climb. It's going to be sunny today, but here's the thing this morning. We had that refreezing last night. A lot of the main roads in pretty good shape, but some of those secondary roads, back roads, especially those that have not been cleared yet, or maybe some of those just have water running over them. We had a lot of rain on Saturday, and that's left some drainage issues. I was coming down one of my roads this morning coming to work and already freezing over if water's across the road. So just keep that in mind this morning. Let's take a look at those temperatures. Single digits in a lot of the area there this morning. 5 in Prestonsburg and Wise, 6 in Pikeville and Ashland, 7 Jackson, Hazard, Moorhead, and you go down toward London and Somerset, only 10 degrees. The warm spot in the entire region, Moorhead just went down a degree. The warm spot in the entire region is 12 in Middlesboro and Jacksboro. When you factor in the wind, and there is a little bit of wind this morning across the area coming out of the northwest still, we see wind chills below zero. Monticello, Wise this morning, single digits in a lot of other locations. So please bundle up. If you don't have to be out, please don't. I know a lot of kids are out of school this morning. Wind chill advisory for Lee and Wise counties until 10 o'clock this morning, so just keep that in mind. Even yesterday, as cold as we were yesterday morning after that huge drop, we're down 20 more degrees in Prestonsburg and Pikeville, 27 there in Wise, and double digits across the entire region. We're going to see those road temperatures here in just a second, but we're looking at outside the WYMT studios this morning. Not too bad, clear skies. Got to see the lunar eclipse last night, but again, that clear sky is making for no residual heat from yesterday, which there wasn't a whole lot to begin with. It's leaving a lot of our heat to evaporate over Whitesburg as well this morning. Pretty quiet live pinpoint Doppler radar. Maybe a few flakes out there, but again, I think most of that has gone by the wayside. Max warming for sure on the coffee meter, maybe a couple of cups of coffee needed there. And our out the door forecast features again cold temperatures to start, and then 24 only for your daytime high today. Those wind chills will continue throughout most of the day. Another cold night is ahead, but not as cold as tonight. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll be sure to check back in with you. Thank you, Brandon. Well, thankfully, most of the main roads are in good shape this morning, thanks to the efforts of local and state road crews. Crews with District 12 of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet worked all day yesterday, plowing and salting the roads. Vincent Hayes is the Pikeville section engineer. On top of the snow, he says the department is also dealing with rock or mudslides, dividing their resources between the two elements.
Just works those slides down, the existing slides that we've cleaned up, and there's still more above, works that down.
Hayes says salt does not work if the temperature drops below 20 degrees, which it definitely is this morning, so they are using calcium chloride to stop the ice.
Well, if you plan on traveling to Lexington or to other areas in central Kentucky this morning or later today, you may come across some slick spots up there along the way. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet say slick spots are still around and crews continue to plow and treat roads. Well, here is a neat look from up above Louisville on Sunday. You can see they were not excluded from the snowfall. According to the National Weather Service, more than 2 inches of snow was recorded at Louisville International Airport.
Kentucky wasn't the only state dealing with winter weather this weekend.
The massive storm was forecasted to bring more than a foot of snow to parts of New England. Natasha Chen is in Albany, New York, as officials prepare to dig out.
A massive winter storm is pounding the Northeast, with more than 2 feet of snow expected to fall in the interior portions of New England.
Snow emergency has been declared by the mayor's office.
Plunging temperatures will bring icy conditions to parts of upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. State and local authorities say they're ready for the weather challenge, but brutally cold temperatures could complicate efforts by road crews.
Now we've got really icy roads. As the temperatures fall, the salt will not be effective, and so that means that the roads are going to be really slick.
The storm brought some of the coldest temperatures of the season to the Midwest and East Coast. More than 100 million people from Missouri to Maine were under some sort of winter weather advisory on Saturday. Roads in parts of Arkansas turned to slush as road crews struggled to keep pace with the heavy snowfall. Conditions turned deadly in Kansas. A snowplow driver died when his plow overturned. Officials in New England have their attention focused on public safety, reminding residents to stay inside and stay warm.
Sometimes people just discount it here. They think, hey, this is the Northeast, we get these storms, but the streets can be really dangerous. And, just as you wouldn't go out in the middle of a hurricane, you shouldn't go out in the middle of a snowstorm.
In Albany, New York, I'm Natasha Chen.
Now, flights and train rides were canceled this weekend across the U.S. due to the weather.
In New Hampshire, snow wasn't the only problem some people had to deal with. Parts of Hampton Beach were flooded during high tide as wind blew the snow around and pushed water on shore. While no major damage was reported, it still made quite a mess for officials to deal with. Back here at home, the weather did not help firefighters battling a blaze at a Lee County church. It happened around 3 a.m. yesterday at the Zoe Church of Christ. By the time firefighters got there, the church was totally engulfed in flames. Officials say they had to use chains on their tires to get their trucks up to the snow-covered hill to the church. They also had to battle the intense cold while fighting the fire.
Our hoses were freezing, the nozzles were freezing. Of course, we had to do water shuttle with the tankers. And there were some instances my hand would freeze to the handle on the truck.
Now, the preacher tells us that thankfully the building was insured. Church members are now just trying to figure out where they can meet until their building is rebuilt.
Over in Corbin, a camper next to a home also caught fire Sunday morning. It happened on Terrell Road. Firefighters there were able to put out the flames before they reached anything else, but the camper was destroyed. Several crews responded to the scene. No injuries have been reported. Well, there were some scary moments for some people at an East Tennessee mall last night. Fire crews were called to the Cinnabar Theater inside Westtown Mall in Knoxville around 8:30 following reports of a possible gas leak. Officials say the smell was coming from an appliance in the kitchen area. No one was injured and everything is back to normal this morning.
Meanwhile, a death investigation is underway in Laurel County after a woman was found dead in her driveway. Deputies say 72-year-old Glenda Smith was found outside of her vehicle at her home off of Fisherman Island Road Sunday morning. An autopsy is scheduled in Frankfort. We do not know her cause of death at this time. And officials have identified a woman police believe was murdered in Ashland. Coroner Mark Hammond says the victim was 29-year-old Erica Spradlin. Her body was found Saturday morning in a yard on Marcia Street. Police say that there was evidence that Spradlin was attacked before her death. They have not identified any suspects in the case just yet.
Well, back to Laurel County this morning. Deputies need your help finding whoever is responsible for a string of vandalism. They say someone or multiple people are shooting or are responsible for shooting a BB or paintball gun at homes and cars. It happened both Friday and Saturday night. Deputies say the targeted areas were Keevee Road, Keevee Craig Creeks Road, Highway 312, Level Green Road, and Paris Carr Road. If you have any information, please give Laurel County Police a call. Well, in Clay County this morning, officials are mourning the loss of one of their own. The Manchester Police Department posted a status on their Facebook page yesterday. It reads in part, "It is with great sadness that we report our beloved city clerk, Mamie Smith, has passed away. No word on how she died or how old she was. We will pass along funeral arrangements when we get them." Well, coming up on Mountain News this morning, if you missed the rare blood moon lunar eclipse last night, no worries, we got you covered.
And later, we will get you caught up on the latest Hollywood happenings that you might have missed over the weekend and your Eye on Entertainment report.
If you don't have to be out this morning, you're going to hear me say this over and over again. Try to stay in where it's warm because it is frigid out there. I'll have the cold forecast in about 2.5 minutes.